All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to be joined by Jeff Murray from Zoom Casa, and he's going to be showing us a really cool new product. And this is a product that one of our Alta agents brought to my attention, Karen Ross, and she was very impressed, really liked the product. So she suggested that I take a look at it. I did, and it looks like a really cool thing that I think a lot of you guys could use. So we're going to have Jeff do a little presentation for us today. Before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring Bill Seitz on the line with us. Bill is, of course, our corporate broker at Alta. Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Good morning, everybody with Alta. Happy to be here as we get through another full week before we have a nice 3-day Memorial weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always kind of the summer kickoff, so it's exciting times. I don't know about you guys, but we always have barbecues and all kinds of good stuff on Memorial Day, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, down here in Southern California, we're just hoping the sun comes out because it's been gray for weeks now.
The May gray is here. It's a pattern that's hard to get out of.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but that's okay. Wishful thinking.
Exactly right.
But before we get started, Kevin, I just want to run through a couple things. Last week, if you were not able to get on the training, I really encourage you to go back and listen to the replay with DJ Bibb and the marketing stuff that Kevin and I went through with him. Outstanding content, outstanding suggestions for those of you carrying listings and what to do when you do carry a listing and how to leverage that into more transactions. I really like that one, Kevin. Also, as you guys know, we're doing a weekly series called the Broker Tuesday Tip. And last week was best practices for uploads. So if you didn't get to read that, I suggest you forward that over to your TC. It'll make a huge difference in getting your CDA out and getting paid quicker and faster and more efficiently. And then this week, the tip was about changing bank accounts. So some of you have, and we have, all of us, we change banks or maybe we close one and open a different one. Make sure if you're planning on using that through the brokerage or if, it's something that's tied to us in getting you compensated for commissions, please let us know immediately so there is no delay in getting those, getting that updated in our system. And I included our CFO, Abhinan Franco's email and phone number in the Tuesday tip yesterday. So make sure you take note of that. And lastly, I was talking to Lauren Nowak, our compliance officer. CAR has released their version of the new listing agreement, and Lauren will be attending the certified CAR trainer seminar that's coming up here shortly. So that will be something coming up on our radar, Kevin. What we will be probably scheduling in early to mid-June is a training on the new listing agreement.
For sure. And then also, don't forget to go back. I know not everybody can make the webinars, but please always utilize our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, do a search for Alta Realty Group. Our channel comes straight up. There's over 300 videos now, but we did do a lot of really good stuff regarding the buyer broker agreement, and so I'm still getting a lot of questions. So make sure that you go back and watch. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 different webinars that cover various aspects of that, and so super important that you go back and listen to those, and we will be doing more of them, right, Bill?
Sorry there. Yeah, 100%. And that's the primary reason that we do record these, guys, is that sometimes, for all of us, digesting all of this content takes sometimes more than one view, or you need to go back through it. I know that it's sometimes there's certain things that I need to watch 2 or 3 times, but it's always at your disposal, and you can do it anytime.
That's for sure. So before we get into today's presentation with Jeff Murray, we're going to bring Debbie Ciccone from Clearview Mortgage on the line. And Debbie always has some positive energy and some great stuff to share with us. So we're going to bring Debbie on the line. Debbie, good morning. How are you today?
Well, I am fantastic. And I just I want to give a shout out to several realtors who have referred business to me, and I would like to see if they're on this meeting, if they could share their experience so far. But Rhonda, Tasha, Jeff, well, Jeff is the listing agent, Alicia, and because I can't even encourage you guys enough to give Clearview Mortgage a try. We are really fast. And I wanted to especially talk about VA today, just a little touch on that, some of the benefits of VA. I just, priced a loan that actually is in process. This lady, they've got a 660 credit score. And so, you would think that a 660 credit score is going to get a much lower interest rate than an 800 credit score. One of the nice things about VA is that VA, like FHA, is very forgiving with credit scores and interest rates. And sorry, my dog wants to play. Go.
So
Anyway, so I priced this morning the 660 credit score, interest rate of 6 3/4 VA, and this is with a $2,400 lender credit towards their closing costs. And if you want a lower rate, 6.625%, there's an origination fee of $1,500. That is really cheap. I mean, lenders out there, banks, they're charging origination points. They don't tell you that, but they'll just put out the APR, and the APR is higher than the rate. That means they're charging something. Anyway, the 800 credit score was the identical same interest rate. So VA, it's not as discriminating as conventional. Conventional, they're gonna definitely have tiers. And as the credit score gets higher, the interest rate is going to get better. The other thing that a nice benefit of VA is that they are also somewhat lenient on the debt to income ratio. I've gotten 60% debt to income ratios through. So, and of course that's with a pretty good credit score, but still, they'll go almost to 50 or close to 50 with a low 600 credit score in a lot of cases. So, and wait, there's more. We can close VA loans in 2 to 3 weeks. We ordered the appraisal yesterday on this $1 million deal, $1 million+ deal, yesterday, and they said that they're going to have the appraisal back on the 30th. So this is really fast turn time for VA. And so that helps us be able to close in a very short time. We submitted the loan to underwriting yesterday. Most likely we're going to get a loan approval today. So we're really, really fast. Give us a try. Give me a call. Of course, give me a call if you have any questions. I typically answer my phone unless I'm on the other line. But even if I'm in Costco, I answer my phone. So we want to be here to help you and, of course, get those points.
Yeah, absolutely. And Debbie, I want to just add to a lot of people they maybe forget that they have a VA eligibility. And so what better way there's so many benefits to using your VA eligibility and financing. And people sometimes don't fully understand it. So if you do have questions about it, or you're just not sure, yeah, give Debbie a ring. She's absolutely an expert at VA financing. You should not be afraid of it. It's actually one of the easiest loans to get processed through. So it's just another tool in your tool belt to get things closed and get transactions done.
Sounds good to me. Well, you guys have a prosperous week. And by the way, Memorial Weekend is like insanely busy for people wanting to shop for homes. So I know it's going to be really crazy out there. And guess what? I'm available. I will answer my phone this weekend, even if I'm barbecuing some steaks or chicken. Anyway, I hope to hear from you guys this weekend, okay?
Awesome, Debbie. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on our webinars every week. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye. All right, so let's shift gears now. We're going to bring Jeff Murray onto our platform here. And Jeff, I'm going to, first of all, good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you perfect. And I'm also going to
Fantastic.
stop my screen share and you can share your screen with us and anything you need to share with us. But
Okay,
yeah,
give me a
Yeah.
second. I'll just figure that out right here.
Perfect. And so again, I was introduced to Jeff Murray and Zoom Casa from one of our agents, Karen Ross, and she had a very good experience. And I was like, you need to definitely introduce this to other agents. So here we are, Jeff. And I know
Yeah.
it took us a month or two. We had a lot of stuff that we needed to cover, but I'm glad that we got you in here.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks, Kevin, and thanks, Bill. Yeah, as Kevin said, you know, we helped one of your agents there, Karen Ross, had a listing down in Culver City that had sat on the market for some time and wasn't selling for various reasons. And we kind of offered a solution to help her client and help her as the agent get that transaction done and make her client happy. So can I just confirm, Kevin, you can see my screen okay there? Can you see the start of that slide deck?
No. So what you'll probably have to do is once you've selected that screen, just hit the little blue share screen button again, and that way it'll be broadcast live.
Oh, 1 second.
Sure. There it is.
There we go. Okay, fantastic. I'm still getting used to these technical things. So there we go. Okay, so
Aren't we all?
so I just want to go through a slide deck here, tell you a little bit about Zoom Casa, who we are, what we do, and how our product can be a solution for some of your clients, hopefully with listings on or off market, and for you as agents as well in prospecting and doing transactions. So just to give you a little brief history, Zoom Casa, we've been around since 2018. We're headquartered in Woodland Hills here in Los Angeles, and we operate in all 50 states. Being headquartered in Los Angeles, most of our business, I would say, is in California, but we operate all over the country. And we started in 2018 in what's known as pre-sale home prep. So you guys are probably familiar with it. It's kind of a service where somebody fronts the money to renovate a client's home ready for sale, so they can hopefully sell it easier and sell it for more money. And the client pays nothing out of pocket, so they just pay those costs at closing when the property sells. And then recently we introduced another part of a financial product to that, where we advance the seller some of my money initially, so they can have that money to pay off their current loan if they have one. They can move into their next property or qualify for their next loan on the property. And we combine that with pre-sale home prep as well, and it's called Forward. So this is Forward. This is our main product now, which we do. We actually purchase using Forward probably about 20 to 30 properties a month nationwide, and help a variety of sellers and agents. Now, I do want to preface this presentation just by saying what we do isn't often a good fit or an ideal fit in the vast majority of cases. This isn't going to replace every transaction, every traditional home sale. What we do really benefits people who maybe either can't go through a traditional home sale process for some reasons, or they just don't want to go through a traditional home sale process. They don't want the hassle. So it's a small number of transactions, percentage-wise, that where our product is a good fit. But in those scenarios, it can really help. So let's go through this deck. And please, if you have any questions, just make a note, just write them down. This is a fairly short slide deck and presentation, so we'll have a few minutes afterwards for questions, and we can go over some things. So here's Forward. What is Forward? As I've said, it's a new tool provided by Zoom Casa. It's it's a tool in your toolkit as agents, and it's a product that helps facilitate transactions, helps sellers, and helps you as agents too. So here it is in 6 basic steps. This is just how a traditional kind of a basic forward transaction would work. So up here, we would purchase a client's home in typically 10 to 15 days. We purchase at full market value. So a seller with us doesn't have to entertain, flipper offers or traditional investor offers or lowball offers or that kind of thing. What we do is we get an appraisal done by an independent appraiser, same as any bank or lender would use, and we purchase the home at that price in typically 10 to 15 days. We give the client up to 70% of their home's as is value at closing. So with that 70% of the appraised value, they hopefully can pay off any loans or liens on the property. They can have cash in the bank. They can qualify for their next loan on their next home if that's their plan. Or if they own the home outright, very often they can just move in, and especially if they're downsizing or buying an equivalent home, they might go in and be able to buy their next home for cash as well. So once we've given them that advance and purchased their home, our team of experts remodel a home if needed. Some properties we renovate really require, actually about 50% of the properties we buy require fairly minimal renovation, maybe just some paint, some flooring. In some cases, maybe even just some staging. Having said that, we also get involved in some heavier remodels, even where there's foundation maybe needs attention, or the new roof, or all sorts of things. So it's a real spectrum of the scope of renovations that we'll do, but we'll carry those out for the seller, and we'll front the money to do that. They're not paying anything until the home has been resold. They're not paying anything out of pocket. So you as the agent, you then relist the property for top dollar. And when the home sells, you receive your full commission, and on that resale, we cut the client the second check, where the seller receives their additional funds from the proceeds of that resale. So several advantages, I guess, for a seller who wants to use our forward program. And this one here in the top left, where my mouse cursor is, avoid the hassle of open houses and showings. That's a fairly common one in certain scenarios where maybe people are elderly, they have numerous pets, they struggle to get out of the house for weekend showings or for open houses. This one actually was applicable in Karen's transaction down in Culver City. The seller had mobility problems, and he also had some issues really with, he didn't like showings. He didn't like people coming to look at the house. He found the whole thing very stressful. And so with our program, we were able to unlock some equity for him, give him some cash, pay off his loan, and he moved out, and then we could renovate the property, and Karen could easily then show the property to prospective clients as it was unoccupied, but it was all renovated and nice, and it really solved that one problem for her client. So yeah, clients can unlock their equity, pay off their mortgage balance. They can receive up to 70% of their home's value in 10 to 15 days. They can become a non-contingent buyer on their next home. So if they've already found a property, for example, they want to move into, but they're struggling to sell their current property, that's another scenario, sort of buy before you sell scenario, where our model can help facilitate that. Make more of a profit on your home sale. Certainly when there's a lot of upside to, when the after repair value of a home is considerably higher than the current value of the home, that's something where we can front the money to help maximize the value of their client's home, rather than then sell it in the current condition and leave all that money on the table, either for the next buyer to do, or some kind of, if it's a flipper or traditional investor, to come in and keep that additional profit. With our model, they get to keep the majority of that additional upside. So they get the convenience of this program, but they're not leaving money on the table for somebody else to get their hands on. Sell your property for top dollar in 1 to 4 months. Obviously, the resale time depends on a couple of things. It depends on you as the agent reselling the property. It depends on the condition of the property, the market. What we have found is that properties that are vacant, that are renovated, that are staged, sell typically quicker, easier, and usually for more money than those that aren't. Start to finish, typically we turn properties around in around 100, 120 days. We work as fast as possible, really. That's in all of our interest. It's in the client's interest. It's in our interest. We're in the red the whole way through this transaction, and we're putting the money out right until the property resells. That's when we finally get paid as well, right at the end of the process. So access to expert designers and project managers. We do have a team of designers, contractors who come in and can manage the project. Again, if a client though has a particular contractor they'd like to work with, maybe they have a relationship with somebody or family friend or somebody that they want to use, no problem. We can work with any contractor as long as they're licensed and insured and go through our vetting process. We can work with them, and that's no problem at all. And as I say, remodel your home with no upfront costs. There's no upfront cost to the client. They get to have their home remodeled with no out-of-pocket costs. We're fronting the money to do everything right until the property has been updated, remodeled where necessary, and then resold. So seller scenarios. The forward program is a best fit for these kind of scenarios. So I'm just going to let this slide linger here and let this marinate for a second, because this is even if you don't fully understand, you know, there are some moving parts to this forward program and what it is and who it helps. And if you don't understand it, that's fine. You don't need to understand the intricacies and all the ins and outs of exactly how this works. But if there's one thing you do take away from this presentation and from what I'm saying, have a look at this slide. These are scenarios really where we can help a seller, and we can help you as the agent facilitate a transaction, maybe where your client's home isn't selling, or the seller just is having trouble going through the home sale process. So on the left, clients who want to sell their home quickly. I've kind of alluded to some of these already, but somebody who's looking to buy another home, maybe they've already found their next home, maybe moving out of the area for work or a family change. Again, usually when somebody's on a time scale and has to in a bit of a time crunch, that's where our product can really help them. And the next two down here, the next 3 points, in fact, people who are in financial distress. So people who are unable to make their mortgage payments, people who are in pre-foreclosure. These are good scenarios where, rather than have to just either get foreclosed on and have their credit ruined for years and lose equity they built up in their home, with us, we can keep their credit relatively intact. We can close on their home quickly, purchase it at full market value, and give them a percentage of that up front. So people who are in financial distress, as long as they've still got some equity in the home, our solution is often a good fit. And then investors that have private money loan coming due, or a hard money loan, that's a scenario we see quite often, where maybe a traditional flipper has a hard money loan and has that coming due, and they want to get out from that loan. We can often help there as well. And then on the right, clients who need renovations to sell for top dollar. This is quite a common one. Homes that are run down, homes that just need a little TLC or to add curb appeal. Homes that are extensively messy, hoarders. You know, we all know those homes where there's just boxes and boxes of stuff in the garage and in the lounge, and homes that really need decluttering, so that you as the agent can show the property in its best light and get top dollar for them. Outdated properties, unfinished homes. We generally try not to walk into somebody's half-finished construction project, but depending on the nature of it, if, for example, maybe somebody's just was undertaking a renovation and they've run out of money, or they've run out of time, or they've had a change in circumstances, it's a good opportunity where for them we can come in and front the money to finish that, and they get to benefit from most of that financial upside as well. So here's just a couple of examples of sort of before and after photos of properties we've taken on. Again, as I say, we purchase typically 20 to 30 properties a month, and we've done over 1,000 properties with this forward program nationwide. So we're getting pretty good at it and ironing out the wrinkles. But don't get too hung up on these numbers. If you have a particular property you want to talk to me about where we could help, let's jump on a call and we can put together a proposal for you, and definitely we can go over all sorts of things one-on-one and see if we can offer a solution for whatever scenario your clients have. Here's some other ones. Alyssa Viejo in California, San Carlos, California. You'll notice, I guess, most of these are in California. As I say, being headquartered here, that's where most of our business is. Certainly on the western side of the US. And here's just a real simple kind of comparison for somebody selling their home. A current value of $800,000, maybe a renovation budget of $100,000, and an after repair value here of $1.1 million. You know, if they want to sell quickly for cash, they just want to close, they want to get out of it. Anybody who's a cash buyer typically is going to be an investor or a flipper. They're not going to get anything up front. They're just going to get a low ball offer. You can see here on the example, it's 660 grand and change. And then with a traditional sale, they're going to pay the usual agent costs, commissions, etc., closing costs, and they're going to come out with 748,000. But again, if we're choosing the same, as an example, if we're saying it's the same kind of property, they might not be able to sell it traditionally if it needs an amount of work that's attracting more of an investor or a flipper. But nonetheless, just an example, that's what they might come out with, just not doing anything to the property, just selling it as a traditional sale. And then with forward, they're getting two checks, they're getting two transactions, they're getting that initial advance, 544,000 in 10 to 15 days. We're putting the money in, that $100,000, we're fronting that money to renovate their property, which resells for 1.1 million in this example. And with that second check, with those additional funds, the seller comes out ahead of these two prior options, netting 863,000 and change. So it's a different option for people. Here's my contact details. I know this is, of course, recorded. So if you have any questions, drop me an email, give me a call. It's really best if you do have something you think where this could help your client. It's best that we jump on a call one-on-one and we can run some numbers and we can go over the specific details of the property and scenario you have to see if this is an option. And again, as I say, it's not for every transaction, far from it, but in certain scenarios where your clients have certain issues or certain problems they want to solve, it can be a really good option for them and a good resource. So
yeah, Jeff.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, Jeff, this is Bill here.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Hey, that's an amazing product. There's so many, my brain just starts going like in 5 different directions on this. Yeah, because I've been to the hoarder's house. I've seen the boxes lined up across. You can't even see out the windows. I've been to the house that is termite riddled with wood rot and wood damage and looks horrible from the outside, but maybe it's in an amazing neighborhood. I've been to all these scenarios where this is a possible fit. And what a little niche you guys have here. And additionally, when you mentioned that home staging and home, obviously remodels naturally get more for the client. I mean, what a way to, promote a way for a homeowner to really maximize their return on their investment, which we all know the home is their biggest investment. And so, man, I just, I can't encourage this, opportunity enough if you guys have these types of scenarios out there.
Yeah, it really is. It's a small percentage of transactions where it works, but where it fits, it's a really good solution for people. And with us, you always have a buyer, and you have a cash buyer, but not a cash buyer who's going to give lowball offers. We buy at full market value. It's just that the client gets their check in they get their funds in 2 parts, but in between that, we're also putting money into investing into their property to add value. And as you say, when the home's a vacant stage, renovated, it makes the agent's job so much easier in selling it, showing it, and getting top dollar for their clients. So yeah, keep us in mind. Any questions, guys, please just drop me an email, give me a call, or reach out to Kevin as well. Kevin's got my contact details. And if you want to do any kind of one-on-one trainings or go over certain scenarios you can think of, that where this could help, then absolutely, I'm here as a resource for you and your team.
Well, that's fantastic. And so guys, do we're going to wrap it up pretty quick here, but do put some any questions that you have. I do have one from Albert, and he asks, does this just apply to single family or all types?
It actually, good question. Probably 95% of the properties we purchase are single family homes, but we will purchase multifamily. The only thing we look at really is there has to be a residential component to it. So if you've got commercial properties, that's not something we would do. But even mixed use properties where you've got maybe a store on the ground floor and a living accommodation, an apartment or condo or something above a store, that's fine. As long as there's a residential component to it, we'll do single family, multifamily.
Fantastic. No, great question, Albert. Yeah, so other questions, of course, I'll have all of the contact information on the replay that I put out. And so please do, utilize this where necessary. It's just another great little arrow in the quiver for you guys. And so we look forward to, finding other great things to bring you guys in the future. But I really do appreciate you coming on our webinar today. And this is, I think, just a really, really cool alternative to, just like you said, in certain situations, your sellers might be in a bind, and this could really unlock, the extra equity that they have in their home. So I really like it.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anything else to add there, Bill?
No, that was outstanding. Very, very informative. Very, really liked that presentation. So, but I know, Kevin, we're probably going to run out of time here as we try to make these things as efficient as possible. But I do want to mention, I hope next week we can show Mel Chappelle's video that she did on a historical property in the historical district of Sausalito. It was amazing. I got to see it yesterday. She was all excited to send it to Kevin and I. This is a property up in Northern California on the East Bay of San Francisco, but it's so well done. I want to show it, or I know, Kevin, you do too, to you guys next week, and what you can do with video and how this marketing piece is absolutely first class. So let's get that on the schedule for next week, Kevin.
Oh yeah. And if you guys need a sneak peek, just go to our Facebook. I did post it on our Facebook channel, so you can take a look at it in the meantime, but we absolutely will showcase that next week because it's just so well done. And, it was very creative. And, if you're doing this kind of stuff, you're definitely going to be setting yourself above other realtors in your area. So this is just a really cool thing. So yeah, go to our YouTube channel. Or, I'm sorry, go to our Facebook page, and I think it's just a few things down here. So easy to find, and take a look. It's really cool.
Yeah, other than that, Kevin, I hope everybody has a fantastic end of the week. I think we will be shutting down a little early on Friday for the holiday weekend. Obviously, it is a long holiday, Memorial Day. So get out there and enjoy it, and be thankful for everything that you have. And we'll get after it next week.
Absolutely. Well, agents, as always, appreciate you guys coming on our Wednesday webinars, and we really look forward to seeing you guys next week. So get out there, make it a productive week and a great week, and we will see you guys on the webinar next week. Bye-bye.